Well, it's time to finally approach the elephant in the room and talk about limited run games. Limited run games has recently come under a full on controversy over the firing of their social media community manager. She was fired for what looks like following the wrong accounts on Twitter and some stuff. There was even one tweet in there that had something to do with Hogwarts Legacy, which kind of got pushed to the side. Now, someone dug up their past and made a full on stink about it on social media. And this led to the redaction and the firing of the community manager. They have finally broken their silence on the matter and has spoken out about what has happened here, giving us a little bit more clarity, but not really at the same time, because I sit there questioning the how this company has come to be and how this company has continued to move along in this process. Well, I'm pulling this up from Clownfish TV. They actually have their own news article website that is doing quite well, so it is well worth checking out for everyone out there. Limited Run Games ex-community manager clears the air. After weeks of speculation of what went down at Limited Run Games publicly announced they have fired the community manager on Twitter, the person at the center of the story has spoken out in a twitlonger, which we're going to look at. Former Limited Run Games community manager Kara Lynn gave us the rundown of how she first became aware of the issue that led to her termination. On January 6th, Lynn woke up to the messages about a post circulating accusing her of transphobia and following the wrong people. Unfortunately, rather than Limited Run Games leadership handling this like a Twitter tempest in a teapot, Lynn was ushered into a phone call and informed she would be cut free from the company. Before I get right into it, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, do all those fun things that YouTube likes. Let me know down below what you think of this video, and we will get right into it. Kara Lynn, I'm ready to chat about the Limited Run Games situation. I know this was coming a bit late, but I really wanted to sit down and write this out. I'm not angry, but I am hurt. I admit that I have tried to film this few different times, but my feelings did the best of me, and I had trouble getting through without crying. So here we are. This is absolutely ridiculous that she has come down to the state where she can't even voice her opinion now because it brings so much pain from everything that she was doing. First and foremost, thank you so much for the absolute outpour of love and support. I truly cannot express how grateful I am to each and every person who reached out to me, a complete stranger, to show your solidarity with my situation. Now, I suppose it's time to get to the events leading up to the termination from Limited Run Games on January 6, 2023. My day started waking up with a message from a coworker with a link to a post that is now circulated on the internet and demanded my termination from the company. I can honestly say that it came out of left field. That single message was the only one I received up until I was requested to join a call at 4:30 p.m. The call in which I was informed that I was being released from the company. I had reached out to a couple of the bosses to inform them that I had seen what was going on and wasn't sure what to do. I was a wreck. I didn't receive a response until the request for the call. In that call, I will say that there was a lot of emotions. I could tell they didn't want to do what they were doing and even said they didn't want to do it. They were being pressured from elsewhere. Limited Run Games is controlled by Embracer Group. They bought them out a while back. Embracer Group has been making certain moves on the video game market. Limited Run Games was one of the places that they were bought them up. So it's interesting to see this very small company that seems to only have like just over 20 employees turn around and fire one of their employees that is such in a tight-knit group. Never had been written up or reprimanded. I never abused my power for personal opinions on the various social channels. I even refrained from commenting or interacting with any political content or controversial topics on my social media accounts. This one isolated incident was apparently all it took. At least that is what I have led to believe. If there's another reason I was not informed, they didn't want the bad publicity, and I can understand that. Unfortunately, I feel that backfired on them. Yeah, uh, hundreds of people turned around and commented on it, said, "What are you doing?" They are swearing off limited run games. There's now other people doing the similar things. We were already in the midst of hiring a new community manager because I had expressed in the previous months that I was feeling burnt out and wanted to try something new. Social media in general was taking a significant toll on my daily life and mental health and was in need of change. January was going to be my last month as community manager. That in itself is very strange. You would think that they would delay this type of announcement and say, "Listen, we're investigating the situation," and then later on down the line, just come out and say, "I've left the company on my own accord," and then they would have saved face on all of it. But for them to turn around and make a public display of the firing, you now have to question why the motives are there. Why did this have to be out in the public? Who are they trying to appease in this matter? Because after looking at everything to do with this, it literally was just following like libs of TikTok, which they all they do is repost things that has been seen a million times online, and people lose their crap over it. That's what it is, and they were following that account. So I sit there and I question the whole situation. A common question I keep getting asked is if I'll be taking legal action against limited run games. No, I will not. North Carolina is a at-will state, and companies are able to fire anyone for any reason, even no reason at all, which is unfortunate for a state to have laws where you can just say, flick them and they're gone. That I don't like that personally. I think if you're going to get let go from a company, there should be a reason behind it. That's really not cool. I still have a special place in my heart at limited run games. There were my first step into the gaming industry, and I'm thankful for that. I still consider many of the people there my friends and wish them well. Josh and Douglas, which are the owners or the CEOs or whatever, fought to make sure I was taken care of. Please stop attacking Josh and Doug in a personal matter. They don't deserve the harassment, and I have no ill will against them. On to the next topic. I truly believe everyone has the right to love who they want to love and be who they want to be as long as they're not hurting anyone else. Where have we heard this before? My only hesitation is when children get involved. That's literally it. As long as you are kind and don't pressure your opinion on others from any political side or religion, which I solely agree with. I personally am not a religious person. I don't want you to push your religious beliefs on me. However, if something comes up where they just happen to have a religious aspect and they're getting completely destroyed for it, I generally will sit there and say, no, that's not right. I believe everyone has the right to be happy in this world. I have friends and acquaintances who are non-binary and have even roomed with trans and LGBTQ individuals in the past at various events, which is something that she should never have to come out and say. She shouldn't have to come out and say that. That is a very private thing. If you're sitting there with friends, why do you have to come out and tell people this? You shouldn't have to put this up there. This is the labeling that we're seeing in cancel culture and everything, where you have to sit there and talk about your history, who you're friends with. Everyone has to know who you're friends with to have a different of opinion. And in this case, their opinion is,
oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
What kind of an example are we setting?
think of the children. Don't push these ridiculous narratives down onto our children. Let them thrive as individuals, and they will show you new things. They will surprise you every time. I should know, my kid surprises me every day right now because he is learning everything of the world. It's absolutely amazing as a father to see my little one actually starting to thrive right now from the place we've been. It honestly doesn't bother me, nor should it. I have no hatred towards anyone who is involved in my call for termination. If you personally and truly felt like I had hurt the community in some way, you have the right to that opinion. but know that I do not see it that way. I just wish someone had reached out and attempted to start a conversation rather than jump straight to the accusation. That's exactly it. The post that I saw, literally they jumped to the conclusion because they were following someone on Twitter. They were literally following like Libs of TikTok and Ian Miles Chong, which I gotta say, Ian is not the greatest person in the world. He's not someone that I personally like a lot of people going after because I've seen his other side, and his other side is not fun. There's a lot of people. Recently, I have unfollowed almost every single one on my Twitter account, mostly because I had an incident with my Twitter account and I don't want a repeat of that. And I've actually seen more engagement doing that after the fact, which is surprising. And I'm able to see things a lot more clear on Twitter. I'm not getting all this gobbledygook that was there. However, I got to say, I was following both sides of the coin up here in Canada when it came to political parties because I wanted to hear both sides of the coin. So there's a lot of situational awareness going on here. And sometimes you follow these things because you want to be informed, not necessarily that you endorse these things. You just want to be informed. Honestly, I have no idea what my future will bring me. I am not sure if I will attempt to pursue content creation again, get back to the gaming industry, or try something new and fulfilling. All I know is I won't let this situation bring me down. I am the only person who knows what my heart feels and my values are. I refuse to let any anonymous person on the internet hurt me or ruin my life. All I know is that I will come out of this stronger. Sorry to say this, Kara, but they've hurt you. They have severely hurt you. In the future, this may have even consequences to find a new job. And that is why this is such a big deal and why a lot of people spoke out about it, because it's not right. For you to be simply fired for following people, for having an opinion of your own, it's against human rights. And it should be, you should be able to have that right to say, I'm not going to push my thoughts onto you, but I'm going to state things that I see wrong in the world. Right? That's the whole concept of this at this point. And I've seen this in the past where people get completely ousted and completely destroyed. Their lives get completely ruined because of what looks like a cult that sits there and joins together and completely berates a person and completely dominates how they're allowed to think, see, and do. If we look at J.K. Rowling, because this was part of what came up, and with Hogwarts Legacy, a lot of people are piling on Hogwarts Legacy saying you can't buy this game. You can't buy this game because it is completely pushing this narrative. But that's not what it is. The game is looking like it's going to be a success. It looks like it's being developed properly. It looks like the game's going to come out properly. And people don't like the opinions of Kate and J.K. Rowling, but they only go after Hogwarts Legacy because it's the latest trend on the market. Did you know there's also a Hogwarts game coming to your mobile phone that's about trading cards and stuff like that? Did you know there's also a theme park over in the UK? Did you know there's 7 movies, actually 10 movies now, and Warner Brothers have a complete contract with J.K. Rowling? However, in the whole scenario here, they go after the video game because the video game has a medium that is greater than everything else out there. It doesn't make sense in the long run. They're pushing one thing because the video game market is such a ravenous version of it's a ravenous medium of pop culture right now. And this is why this story is such a big deal. And it's not cool to be let go for following people on Twitter. Twitter has nothing to do with you playing a video game. If we could take one thing from the situation, that would be to bring light to the dangers of cancel culture. I have always been opposed to it and voiced my disagreement with how it is handled. It can be hurtful to all parties involved. And you're seeing this right now. All parties, nothing's kind in war. There is fallout on every side of it. the person that got targeted here, and now the company, Limited Run Games, is feeling the fallout of all of that. If you don't like something, vote with your wallet and move along. There's no need for vicious attacks on other people or companies. Sending horrible messages to a company's online social media platform can take huge mental toll on those people who have to read those. Herself included. She has gotten nothing but hate on this, but I also have to say the person that raided Limited Run Games into this, I went through things, and there's not nice things that have been said. I do not condone any of that. Personal attacks, harassments, the second you're name calling, the second, all of that. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what? It's one thing to sit there and point out and say, listen, what you're doing here is wrong. That's not harassment. That's giving genuine criticism. But when you cross the line and you start calling people names and you start attacking their person, their core, then that's a little bit far. Sending horrible messages to a company's social media, online social media platform can take a huge mental toll on the people who have to read those. People who have had no hand in the situation. Please just think before you post. We're all guilty of posting something fueled by emotion, but fail to consider just how many other bystanders may be negatively affected. Let's just try to be better. Thank you again for everyone who has reached out and shared your support in some way. You have been a light in such a dark time in my life. I am eternally grateful. Over the next few weeks, I will be guests on various podcasts, which I'm not surprised with. Please feel free to reach out. I'll make sure to share them when and where you'll be able to find me. I will see you soon. Carolyn. Yes, I know, I meme. Think of the children in the middle of that video, but you know what? I can't help it. It's a meme. It needs to be said because it was said. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been your proud Canadian Phoenix Cineshadow signing off here. Don't forget to have a great day.